I'm going to offer you another little conclusion, a big one today, a really, really big one. I keep saying that they're big ones, though, to be fair. But this one I think is the most important, or certainly one of the most important. I'm going to talk about, ironically, since we're in the sun, your dark side. Yeah. So there was a book by William Blake. William Blake's books tend to be pictorial. And you've got to wonder what was going on in his mind whilst he was designing and writing. But he's got a wonderful book which is called The Marriage of Heaven and Hell. The only thing that I remember from William Blake's The Marriage of Heaven and Hell, and I'm paraphrasing, but basically he said, you might try as hard as you can to find the light, but the only thing which is dead certain is that you're going to find the darkness. Yeah. We, as individuals, as human beings, we seem to be hardwired to focus and to give extra weight, extra power to the dark. Yeah. It takes, apparently, metaphorically at least, 6 or 7 good positive experiences to maybe rub out one negative experience, one negative conclusion. I think it's a risk manager inside of us that is designed to protect us from the stuff which is bad. But the end result is that we have this kind of normalized sense of risk and darkness and maybe disappointment, shame inside of us. We're aware, either at a conscious level or more likely at a subconscious level, of these kind of shameful elements of our life. And what William Blake was basically saying is, get to make friends with that. Get to terms with that. Because it doesn't matter how much you might yell a positive mantra to yourself, no matter how much you might stick a post-it note with every day in every way, I'm getting better and better and better and better on your bathroom mirror. If there's shame underpinning your psyche, if your sense of identity is partly impacted or largely impacted by a feeling of inferiority or disappointment or embarrassment or shame, that there is something about you which is distinctly wrong, no amount of positive delusion is going to negate that. So I think this is possibly the most important thing when it comes to enjoying your life. It's a sense of acceptance of the bits about you that you find less than completely palatable, let's say. I don't think they're bad. I think the whole idea of badness and goodness is a moral construct which has come from outside of you, yeah? I think there's something fantastic about these moments in life where we get slapped in the face, where we find ourselves in pain or find ourselves completely lost at sea and we do not know what to do, yeah? Where we don't have an anchor, where we don't have a life raft. And we are forced to look inside. We are forced to sit with ourselves. Because these are the moments that you stare yourself in the face and you contemplate these parts of you which are less than wonderful in your pecking order. If you don't make friends with your dark side, it gnaws away at you. It limits you. It pains you. If you can sit with your dark side, if you can sit with the parts of you that have bad thoughts, and you can ask yourself, is this real? Does this feel real? I'm a member of the human race. I don't understand me. But does this feel real? And if it does, and I suggest that it probably does, then no amount of moralizing or pontificating or shoulding or religion or sheer outright willful denial is going to get rid of it. It turns out it is an element of us. And we, through layer upon layer of culture, have decided what it is about being a human being which is good and what it is about being a human being which is bad. And this permeates our interpretation of ourselves. And so we end up with this shame-like segment of our identity. If you can give yourself a break, if you can accept that you are a member of the human race, that look at all of these extraordinary people who have fallen from grace from one reason or another, that it turns out people make mistakes, that it turns out people do stuff which they are not fully in control of, that we have urges, that we have chemicals coursing through our body that cause us to feel things that apparently we shouldn't, but that we do anyway. You know, sex is the obvious one that comes to mind because it's so tied up in morals. And yet the chemicals don't relate to morals. They just exist. Yeah. If you give them more power, if you resist them, if you deny them, if you struggle against them, they get bigger and bigger and bigger. They get more and more painful. And it turns out it's just part of being this. That is the first step to self-acceptance, self-harmony, inner peace, serenity. Yeah? Another thing which can be tremendously powerful, and obviously, in order to do this, you have to find someone else who isn't shame-based themselves because they might want to score points with it instead. But if you find someone who appears, at least, to be kind of leveled, to be kind of anchored, and you talk about your shame-based underpinnings, you might be astonished by their response because, you know, most people are inside their own heads. When they hear about somebody else's naughty bits, they kind of laugh about it. It's like, is that it? Is that all it is that you're concerned about? I think if you can find an arena where you can talk about these things, it can also be tremendously powerful when it comes to letting go of the bits of you which have this magnetic anchor that says thou art bad. You know, there is this kind of moralistic, almost religious fervor to it. It's driven, it's constant, it's always there. If you can find a way to accept that, then what happens is, because that's lost its magnetism, you are permitted to play. There's less risk. You're permitted to enjoy yourself because you don't need to suffer. You're permitted to be whatever this is. Yeah, I can't talk to you about your shame because your shame is going to be created by a series of experiences that I don't know about. But the conclusions are very, very uniform. Yeah, they are, you're not right. You shouldn't enjoy yourself. You should suffer. You should pay penance, and so on and so on. Yeah. Making friends with that frees you to be whatever it is that you might be, as well as what you currently are, because you're no longer, you know, self-flagellating at the times that you're supposed to be doing well. You go out on stage and there's no monkey sat on your back telling you that you're not quite good enough. You know, all that stuff, it dissolves, it disappears. It doesn't make you a massive kind of huge-brained egotistical monster. It settles you so that then you can honor whatever it is which is inside of you. No matter how hard you try and find the light in life, the one thing which is surer than anything else is that you're going to find the dark. So said William Blake. Go with that. Read The Marriage of Heaven and Hell. Embrace the reality of your experience and question it, yeah? Not with somebody else's story, with your own conscience, with your own values, and ask, am I really that bad? And look at your fellow man. Look at them all. Look at their faces. See the ones who are suffering because of this weight of somebody else's story, somebody else's expectation. Love them if it's easier. Look yourself in the eye, deep in the eye, and love you. You don't need to justify love. By being a member of the human race, you're already legitimate. You're already everything that you might be. All experiences that you are having and have had and will have, you are fit for already. That's why you are what you are. Evolution has led us somehow or other to be this thing that we are today. Don't push against it, is what I'm saying. Give it a hug, embrace it, thank it, honor it, own it, accept it, love it. Thank it for all the stuff that it's done for you. Acknowledge its use and acknowledge its problems. And start to make choice. Yeah? Start to make choice. Start to accept that you are what you are. And that with that extraordinary complexity, there are fantastic gifts. Make friends with your dark side. Make friends with your shadow. Make friends with your shame. And free yourself.